Welcome back to the Controllables interview series created for Mental Health Awareness Month to explore what it really means to win the inner game. Today's guest is Quintin Demps, former UTEP standout and 10-year NFL veteran, leading young men both on and off the field. But this episode isn't just about stats or titles. It's about faith, forgiveness, and the mindset it takes to keep showing up when life hits hard. From battling self-doubt and leadership, to healing from personal pain, to rewiring his inner dialogue through faith and reflection. Quintin brings a depth and honesty that's rare and needed. Let's get into it. I would be cliche to start the answer to this question with, I won't be too spiritual. However, that's who I am, and that is what governs my life. So I have to start by saying, let me first be spiritual. I am a spiritual being having an earthly human experience. God is first, second, middle, and last for me. He is who I turn to when life is out of control and anxiety is booming. Running to my prayer closet and spending intimate time with my Father in heaven, reading the Bible, is what I focus on. This makes a difference for me because I'm reminded the frailty of life and that He is the author of my life. Nothing that happens in my life doesn't catch Him off guard, so I run to Jesus when I feel out of control. Within that context, when I've spent intimate time and after the prayers, I go inward. I always ask myself, what is this moment trying to teach me, and is my perspective in the correct place? Then I go work out or write. I grew up an only child, so writing was my outlet. The paper always seems to understand me the most, and it let me be my true, authentic self without rebuttals. That right there is a reminder that sometimes controlling the controllables starts with surrender. For Quintin, running to God wasn't weakness, it was alignment. Prayer, reflection, and writing became tools to process the storm without getting lost in it. And that's a message that all of us need now more than ever. For me, all the controllables have shaped my success. Different seasons of life have called for different controllables. During one of the most painful times of my life, a divorce, wellness and perspective led the charge. I had to heal and see myself just as valuable in the eyes of God if I was married, single, or divorced. God hates divorce, but He loves the divorcees. I had to get healthy mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially during that time, so wellness was huge for me. I had to shift my perspective in order to forgive betrayal and see my ex-wife through the lens of God, so that unforgiveness did not ruin my life. I also had to shift my perspective from blame to ownership. I had to own my part of our differences of being irreconcilable. In terms of success as a professional athlete or head football coach, habit was the controllable that shaped my success the most. To be successful in the field of athletics, I knew that my habits had to be healthy and consistent. The habit of being disciplined, the habit of taking care of what goes in my body are imperative to success. Creating and maintaining healthy habits is how you reach your full potential in life, but also in the field of sports. I can write for days on the importance of all controllables. All of them are important, and if applied, will lead us to becoming the best version of ourselves. That one hits heavy home for me. Different seasons call for different controllables. Whether it was wellness and perspective and healing, or habit on the field, Quintin shows us that success isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's all about knowing where you are and choosing the controllable that moves you forward from there. That's real. Overthinking, doubt, replaying decisions. It's a silent battle a lot of leaders face. But Quintin's honesty gives us all permission to breathe, to trust the effort, to celebrate the win, and to let the losses teach without letting them define. Being a head coach, I'm faced with the task of making multi-decisions any given day that will alter my program, either good or bad. I often have to overcome the inner dialogue with just resisting and knowing that whatever choice I made is what I thought was best at the time. I can go back and forth for hours thinking I shouldn't have done that or said that or called this play or that play. However, that's not healthy for me personally, nor is it healthy for my organization. I'm introverted and an overthinker, so this battle is real for me. It's an ongoing fight that I win often, but I lose often too. The answer is to always do my best and trust God to work out the details. Celebrate the small wins and let those losses teach me a lesson. That's a masterclass on mindset to share with your younger self. From feeding the right mindset to speaking life out loud to understanding that your words, thoughts, and actions are all connected. This is the kind of wisdom that can shift an entire generation if they can hear it early enough. Young Q and all of us needed that. About mindset specifically, I would tell my younger self that the mindset you feed the most is the one that will be the strongest. Feed the positive, self-confident, self-aware, joyful mindset and starve the negative, fearful, low self-esteem mindset. You do this practically by speaking out loud to yourself the positive, self-confident, joyful things. Young Q, your thoughts and the things you say out loud, self-talk, have the power to create the life you will be proud of. You can't do anything you put your mind to alone. However, you can do anything you put your mind, your words, and your actions to. Believe it, speak it, work it. As I think of this question, I'm reminded of a book that I read when I was in my late 20s called The Four Agreements. And I would tell younger self to master these 3 principles and add a 4th one from my point of view. Be impeccable to your word. Always do your best. Never take anything personal. Get to know God for yourself. Also, young Q, you've been through so much trauma as a kid. Work on your self-esteem now so that you won't be having to work on it in your 30s. You are worthy to be loved, celebrated, and appreciated. Your choices don't define you, but they can make life harder than it has to be. So do your best to make more right choices than bad ones. Quintin's story reminds us that being strong doesn't mean being silent. It means being honest, reflective, and being rooted in something deeper than the moment. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take back your charge. One decision, one habit, one mindset at a time. God bless, stay charged, and we'll see you in the next one.